Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for everything yesterday on the documentary, the views, the comments, positivity. It kind of left me to ask some more questions because I ask a lot of questions, and I'll ask more questions while I'm asking questions because those questions will develop more questions. One that I had yesterday was the can math really terminate marijuana profits? Can it terminate how marijuana is expanding in the industry? And what I meant by that is from clone to harvest. Um, Around clone to harvest on marijuana and hemp is around 110 days. It's basically the same. Marijuana can be a little bit faster, but the issue that comes in after the harvest is you can basically just put the label on the hemp because you've had that initial delta 9 test to get it below the 0.3%. That's the only test you need. But with the marijuana, it has to go out for contaminant testing, for all sorts, for pesticides, for heavy metals. It might have to get remediated. There might be mold on it. So if you are a retailer and you are in this industry and you grow and you have the idea that you want to make a little bit of money, you're obviously going to take the faster route, the hemp market, because you don't have to go through so many loopholes. Now, my main question is since all of this took place with the 2018 Farm Bill and all of the stupid little loopholes and everything that everybody has been doing, how many people versus the people that do it for the love of the game are in the industry? And how do you compete with the faster one? Because this is 2026. There's so many people now that are simply just doing everything for money because everything is just so much more expensive. Everything is, yeah, passion versus profits. Exactly. Everything is more expensive. People wanna make more money, and that's just ultimately people's mind state right now. So if you're not in it for the love of the game, you're competing against people who don't have who can jump through the loopholes that you can't. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, their product gets put on the same shelf right next to yours. And that's what, like, especially, like, for Arizona example as an example, you get in this hemp market, you grow your hemp. You do all of the things, you get it labeled, you you have to sell it to a licensed dispensary in Arizona, and now it gets put on the shelf. But because of the Arizona laws and all of that, it has to be packaged and sold as marijuana. Like, it has to be taxed and all of that as marijuana. So, realistically, it might not even be marijuana in the fucking bag, but it has to be labeled because of the attorney general and what Chris Mays, because of what he said. Which is insane, because that totally goes against the initial issue that I had of saying, well, there things are getting mislabeled or something, which they are, but, like, now in some of these states, they're being legally mislabeled for, like, creating a mislabeling issue so the hemp can be taxed and sold as marijuana, like, so my main question is how much marijuana is really out there? Actual marijuana that people fucking love that they grow, because the dispensary that I have been going to, Green Dragon, which is one of the like was the dispensary that I'm talking about where you have to find it. Like when I go in there, they only have their house flower. They don't sell this other shit that I'm talking about, like the Jeter flower. They don't sell the fucking CBX. They don't sell the Fig Farms, the Bear. They don't sell any of that shit. They only sell their flower. That's it. And, like, that was a huge sign to me. It's like, okay, they're aware of what's actually going on. And they do have, like, they do have a couple of those brands kinda, like, off to the side, but they're just, like, pre-rolls and stuff, and they're off to the side. So, especially just in a state like California, the dispensaries are everywhere, and not to mention how I talked about Leafly in the documentary as well, of how you could just hit up Leafly and get a delivery. And people were saying, "Well, you have to be a dispensary to sell on Leafly, and that is not exactly true. You do not have to have a storefront on Leafly. You have to have a license from the Department of Cannabis Control, and let me tell you how fucking cheap that is. It's $1,000 application fee and $1,000 licensing fee. That's it. That's it. So if you get your application fee accepted and you get licensed, you could logistically go or literally however whatever fucking word, you could go buy it, go buy a couple pounds, take it back to your motherfucking living room, weigh it all out right there, put it on Leafly, and it starts coming in, right? But you are now, in the eyes of the law, a registered marijuana dispensary through the Department of Cannabis Control. And you can drive it around depending on your city laws. And that's the thing too with the city laws and city districts, those can oversee state laws. So if they say, "Hey, you can't sell this in California," the city could go, "Ah, well, yeah, yes, we can." So that's there's dude, it's insane. So there are literally people just sitting on the couch who are when you go on to Leafly, you click on a name and there is no storefront. It's probably just some dude and his friend. They're making a little scratch, which I'm all for. I am all for. I love that idea. Cheap licensing fee, being able to just sell the weed from Leafly in your own home, but do it right. Sell the fucking gas, man. Sell the good shit. Like it's ridiculous. And seeing just how cheap that is to do this for the licensing fee and the application fee, why don't I do it? Seriously, why don't I do it? I know that there's people out there in this industry that would love to I guess partner with me who we could all actually, who have the for the love of the game, the passion. I want to grow the absolute stinkiest, most just fucking insane flower. I don't want I don't want it to compete for I don't want to do like Cannabis Cup or anything like that. If it makes it, sure, I'm not going for anything like that. I'm talking like the stinkiest, fucking just disgusting smelling flower where it's just holy mother of God. Like the only people that buy it are the people that are looking for it. Like I don't want to sell to the dorks on the ski lift that are eating their edibles. I don't want to sell to all of these. No, I want it to go to the people who are who are searching for it, who are like me, who want that fucking stink. Like I remember we used to get this strain. I don't even know if this was really what the strain was called, but they were calling it frostbite. And my friends would get it from Washington and bring it back to Idaho. They would sell it for 60 bucks an eighth. And it like, dude, this stuff, I remember every time we would get it, it was like the most vile, skunky weed still to this day I've ever smelled in my life. And and we didn't have like the smell proof bags, so but still, like I had just an eighth in my pocket and I walked into a Hastings video rental place. And I walked to the back because I was going to grab something. And within like a minute, my friend who was on the other side of the store like comes and finds me. He's like, "Dude, you have to get out of here." He's like, "Dude, this whole fucking place smells like there's a pound of weed on the table just like open." And this weed got us in so much trouble all the time because you just simply could not hide the smell. Like you could not unless you had like a legitimate jar, which it's kind of hard to find those back then in the day in the little town that we were in. And like that's what I want. And it's weird because especially with all the genetics and the breeding that they've done, even some of these dedicated growers, the actual like skunk and stink is like gone. Like some of the flower does like it is stinky. It does have that marijuana smell, but like the wretchedness, I don't I don't see it very often. The doink, yeah, the quality doink pack or the yeah, the '06 sour diesel, '08 sour like all those were insane. I feel like the last real good dispensary weed that I ever had, and I believe it was, like, right after all of this started taking place in Arizona. It was just a Rick Sanchez, the guy, from Rick and Morty. That was the strain, Rick Sanchez, and it was so good. I had, like, a quarter of it, and we went to Vegas, and it was, like, the first time that we tried, like, the Vegas weed. Ugh. We spent a good penny on the Vegas weed, like, all the top shelf stuff, and, like, it sucked. The weed that I brought was way better, and, like, yeah, I feel like that was just, like, the last of it, and, like, it has, like, it's like, especially looking back on all the flower and stuff that I did buy in Arizona and then didn't buy after just, like, a certain day. It was so weird. The sulfur. Yeah. You're a legal patient in the United Kingdom and the medical stuff is dead. Sometimes you'll get something that smells good, but nothing with that. Yeah, okay, so, dude, I genuinely imagine that this 2018 Farm Bill, a lot of other countries took a look at what happened here and went, "Ooh, we could probably do that." 'Cause I mean, realistically, you can do a lot with the flour when it doesn't stink. 36, yeah, I'm 34, so, yeah, high school was insane. And back then, like, too, like, it made you look stoned. Like, every time I'll see a bud tender, and, like, the bud tender is just, like, they can't even function. It's like, "Dude, where did you get that? I could see it in your fucking eyes. Where'd you get that stuff?" But, yeah, it's frustrating, especially like, yeah, because I wonder how big this has actually affected people. Like, what other code on right now? Alright, what other countries are doing it? Like, okay, Canada's got an agricultural policy. Add the 0.3%. Let's add the 0.3% in there. Oh, no shit. Canada's agricultural policy framework mirrors the US Farm Bill's mirrors the US Farm Bill's breadth, covering crop insurance, commodity programs, conservation, rural development, and food security. It's structured over a multi-year cycle, includes fixed percentage of federal spending allocated. European, the Common Agricultural Policy. It's the most direct parallel to the US Farm Bill. I want to include the THC in there. Ha! No shit. No shit. All right. Canada's hemp regulations, based on the cannabis and hemp regulations under the Cannabis Act, define hemp as cannabis sativa containing no more than 0.3% delta 9. Hmm, Well, the Europeans' agricultural food safety standards for hemp often reference 0.3% THC threshold. That's the benchmark. Well, the EU does not have a single harmonized hemp law. Member states that regulate hemp for food, feed, or industrial use typically adopt this limit. Australia Australia has it. Japan Japan has it for CBD products. Brazil, South Africa. My God, it's fucking worldwide. It's worldwide. Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, depending on it being like recreational or usable by the public, that they're adopting it. Everybody's adopting this farm bill thing. It's getting rolled out. Like it looks like they're doing it exactly how it happened here in the United States. Because in 2014, yeah, 2014 is when the commercial hemp laws went into effect. What 20 yeah, when Obama passed those hemp laws to make commercial hemp, that's when it woulda got that ball rolling, so that's when all of these giant hemp corporations would have just been fucking full steam ahead, buying out entire farm fields, acres and acres and acres to put these farms like so yeah, you're competing with that now that and those dude, it has to be everywhere, and talk about what if you have, like, a farm in another country? Can you fly it in? It's just crazy how this is just, like, everywhere. And the thing is it is all I mean, realistically, it's from the cannabis plant. I mean, in layman's terms, it's all weed, but when well, I mean, like, the best way that I've explained it before is, like, going into a diner and you want Coca-Cola, and they give you a Pepsi, or they give you an RC Cola, and you're like, "What the fuck? This isn't what I want." Tastes different. It's like, I get the caffeine, sure. The sugar's off, tastes off. The fizz is off, like, the carb like, there's you just notice things that are just off with it. It's not like this medical marijuana is like, it puts you on another level of, like, being, stoned or anything. I mean, in a way it does because 'cause it's got more of the all of the other stuff in it to give you, like, that kinda couch lock and not like, "Holy shit, I'm ripped instantly, and then I want another rip in 10 minutes because it's not there anymore," which is the issue that I always found with this hemp stuff. And it's just how much like, and personally, I think and this is just an estimate. I honestly think in some of, like, the Arizona, like, or let's just say all of the big, like, name brand dispensaries, I honestly feel like it's maybe, like, 3 out of 10 marijuanas on the shelf, and the rest is the other shit. I don't prove that's just my guess because you have to li you would lit you would have to trace all of it back to the lab, but if it didn't go to the lab, then you know. So, and some of these, like, I think California does require, the third party lab testing on the hemp products, which I'm not specifically talking about California on that issue. California's got pretty good marijuana laws and things like that. But it is like I said, it's the loopholes that everybody uses to get this shit through. Yeah, and then the terpenes too, and especially now, like everybody's like, "Oh, we want like the fruity citrus terpenes." Like, no, I don't want like I hate that like citrus smell, or I don't know what to call it. It's so weird. There was a guy I used to get from a long time ago, and he always had the same flower, and I was always like, "What the fuck is wrong with this flower?" And it was always just like so like citrusy and like limey. Like I can't explain it, but like I know what it was now. Fucking Everything's just getting worse. Don't want anything yeah, like, what like, this is I got this half ounce of the green dragon toad venom. Now, I never even read the label to this stuff before. I read it yesterday. Check this shit out. Government warning. This package contains cannabis, a Schedule 1 controlled substance. Keep out of the reach of children and animals. Cannabis may only be possessed or consumed by persons 21 years of age or older unless the person is a qualified patient of cannabis use. While pregnant or breastfeeding may be harmful or consumption of cannabis impairs your ability to drive. It doesn't say may impair your ability. It says will impair your ability to drive and operate machinery. Like that is a little bit different than you'll see on some of these other ones. When it says right here, this is a Schedule 1 controlled substance, I don't see that on a lot of these other ones. And maybe it might be on there, but it gotta be, like, worded differently, I swear. I don't I may not know. I don't read a lot of labels, to be honest with you, but I feel like that's the first time I ever saw the warning of the Schedule 1. Alright. At 10:30, alright, I gotta do got that recorded, I'm gonna cut that up, get that posted. Got a few more things I gotta do. I'm gonna try to be back on here in, like, an hour. Try to get this edited. Yeah, I will see you guys in a few.